Imagine standing at a fork. To your right is a road named Fear of Success. To your left, the road is called Fear of Failure. Which would you choose? Greetings. My name is Joseph Yagar. Welcome to another Life in Perspective broadcast. My objective is to provide thought-provoking discussions so you can optimize your perspective on life. Whichever road you choose, the challenge is not failure or success. The challenge is the fear that precedes both. Fear is what causes those who succumb to it to attempt neither failure or success. If you feel a tingle of truth right now, know that you're experiencing a similar sensation to the one felt by everyone watching. The only difference is the degree to which you feel it. And you'll be surprised how fine the line is between fear having a paralyzing effect on you and you being able to persevere despite its grasp. Before I continue, please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. Clicking the subscribe link below. It's free and would be much appreciated. You may also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you think of fear as a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being fearless and 10 being completely paralyzed by it, we're all born at 0. As we grow into adulthood and conform to social norms, we end up further up the scale. What you'll find interesting is that the more successful inhabitants of that scale end up closer to 0 still. A small percentage spend the majority of their time there, while some have managed to migrate down from higher up the scale by making their way across that fine line. Now you may wonder how they did it. A question I asked myself for decades in a battle I lost too many times to mention until I was finally made aware that I was fighting the wrong enemy. I was distracted by a tug of war between success and failure, not being able to hold on to either, and never addressing the real culprit. Fear. Although it was ever present and constantly nagging, I kept resisting it instead of befriending it. Now, as we all know, what you resist will persist, but what I didn't know until many years later is that what you befriend will transcend. Befriend fear. Now, there's an oxymoron for you. The fact is that for 99.99% of the members of the human race, fear will remain a constant companion for life to some degree. And just like any other companion you may not be able to get rid of permanently, you have a choice as to the kind of relationship and boundaries you maintain. You can let your companion dictate the terms. You can dictate them, or you can live on that fine line in a give and take arrangement. Most of us already live or have lived dictated to by fear for the better part of our lives. Few make it across that fine line and take charge. And many get to that fine line and simply settle on the border for fear of the unknown and decide that having the comfort zone within reach and the unknown in view at a distance is more reassuring. To some, this is known as the gray zone, and to most, the twilight zone. I can tell you from personal experience that until the age of 32, I lived with fear dictating the terms. The next 15 on the border and only the last few on the better side. However, I dare not get comfortable because my companion, although in the rearview mirror, is still calling out for attention. We have a long history, and neither one of us seems to entirely let go. What made crossing the proverbial border possible was the single most important realization I've made at that moment. And that is that the fear I was imprisoned by was the fear of what others may think of me if I failed to succeed. I feared failure because of the shame, and success because I did not want to lose it and feel the shame. All these years on the wrong side of the line, I had no concept of the monumental failures experienced by those I looked up to. I only saw the end result and accepted the fact that it wasn't meant to be that way for me. Like many before me who crossed that line, I eventually had enough of giving all that power away and decided to take it back, look under the hood, and start believing that it is meant to be that way for me too. A wise man once told me that success leaves clues. So does failure. Only I resisted looking for fear of what I might find until I finally understood that the latter is the chest that contains the secret recipe from which success is made. That we don't succeed or fail, but rather we succeed and learn. And learning is not something to fear, but rather befriend. So the next time you're at that fork, read the signs again and choose friend of success or friend of learning. Please let me know what topics you would like my perspective on in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.